to start this one by making kind of the two ears on it. So you're going to make this ear here. And that's how I started at the top. You start at the top and work down more or less. Okay. And make the other ear. The ear on the other side. Here. And then you're going to go down and make the part that looks like the chain stitch, but you're going to do it a little differently than a chain stitch. So you're going to come up at the bottom of it, but instead of going down and tacking it, which is what we did in the chain stitch, you're going to go through these. I'm going to go through the previous stitches, through the two ears, and then go back down in where you came up, same place that you came up. So once again, hold on, I'm going to cut some of this fabric off of here because it's getting in the way of seeing it, seeing what's going on. So we're just going to hack some of that off, get it out of our way at the moment. So we go down. All right, come back up and make the two ears on the Wheatear. And this looks like a stalk of wheat. That's why it's called the Wheatear stitch, of course. So back down in. And again, you're going to start that way with the two ears at the top. And now you're going to come up to do the chain part of the stitch. And you're going to go through the ears, the previous chain part. Of course, I just unthreaded my needle, so let me rethread my needle here. And I'm using some pearl cotton for this. And go under the other ear. If you're having trouble going under the ears because you're catching you're catching the thread with the point of your needle, or you're going through the fabric with the point of your needle, use the eye of the needle. I'll show you that with this next stitch. Okay, we're going to come up here, down here, up here, down here, up to make the chain part. And now the eye of the needle, I'm using the eye of the needle to go through these. And they go through very easily. You're not going to hurt the thread or split the thread or go through the fabric. Let's make sure I'm holding that where you can see it. We'll do that again. Down at the bottom of that chain type thing. Off to the side, down at the bottom of the chain type thing. Now I'm sort of going over this other stitches, so I think what I'm going to do is start a new row. Instead of doing the chain part there, I'm going to start a new row right here and just leave that spot free. So you'll see how this starts. We start with the ears. Come down a little ways. underneath both of the ears. And again, I used the eye of the needle that time, makes it less likely that you'll split the threads. And come back down. And you may find using the eye is especially useful if you're using strands of floss rather than pearl cotton where it's a single strand. So do another set of ears. Come up here and through. And again, I'm finding it hard to get the second ear all in, all of both of the ears and the chain all in one movement. So I'm doing 2 movements. And again, ears first. And then come up and go underneath. And again, sometimes using the eye of the needle when you're going underneath instead of the point of the needle makes life easier. All right, I'm going to finish this and then show you some possible embellishments for it. So you can see here I've done Wheatear stitch, and I'm embellishing it by just taking a single little straight stitch, and I should have done that from the outside in, so I'm going to do it on the other side first, and I'll come back to put the French knot on. Outside in, and then back up to the head of that and put a French knot. This is why we learned French knots early on. Remember, needle goes the way that the thread's going. Wrap 2 or 3 times, however much, depending on what size you want. Snug it down, put your needle through, and pull through. All right, now I can do the French knot over here. And put the French knot at the head of that little stitch. Little stitch, French knot. Kind of making a little lollipop there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. That's a little bit long. There we go. Little stitch. Come back up at the top of the little stitch and do a French knot. Wrap the needle back in, snug it down, and pull. So there's Wheatear stitch with a little bit of embellishment.